All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about product labels. And um, this is based on an interaction that I had with someone at a market that I participated in a couple months ago. And it kind of just got me thinking about, whether we know how to read product labels, whether we're applying certain rules to them that may or may not apply. So I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about this because I feel like there are some misnomers, some misconceptions about um, what is actually important when reading labels, and maybe potentially applying blanket logic across um, different types of products, different types of food, and kind of cross pollinating the logic, so to speak, where it may or may not be relevant. So in this particular instance with this potential customer, it was the body butter. So she was reading the labels on, each of the products and some of the soap, and she said, "I'm going to get this one because it has less ingredients." And it was the body butter. And all of the body butters have the same amount, the same types of ingredients. It's just, some have cocoa butter, some have shea butter, some have mango butter. But they're all going to have jojoba, they're all going to have almond and vitamin E, things like that. So the bases are mostly the same. And the differences come with the essential oils. So really what she was looking at was the essential oils. And it wasn't because there was an allergy, it was literally because the number of ingredients. And I thought, okay, well, that is a form of rationale, and um, not sure that it's applicable in this instance. So it got me thinking about all of the ways where we might be either hearing, a byline about number of ingredients on something, and having that on a food label, and hearing that, on the news, or, reading it somewhere, and then applying that blanketly across everything that we consume, which may or may not be helpful. So typically, it is my understanding that when ingredients are listed, it is in the order in which the ingredient is. No, that's actually incorrect. It's in descending order. So it's the most amount down to the least amount. So if you have, five ingredients listed on a product, it's, water, or I'll just use, soap, coconut oil, distilled water, um, maybe there's some olive oil, there's some sodium hydroxide, there's shea butter, and like maybe an essential oil. That's one of my recipes. That's not the recipe, but like the order in which I would put the ingredients on the label. So it's the greatest amount to the least amount. So the least amount is listed last. Greatest amount is listed first. And in between you have all of the things. So all labels, it is my understanding that that is the standard that is used for everything that we consume, whether it is food or, a consumer product like a bath and body product. So there are a number of products, specifically food, where the company touts the number of ingredients as, we have this is a pure, this is natural, this is, it only has five ingredients, there's no fillers, there's no, yada yada. So that is a marketing point, that, it only has X number of ingredients, so therefore it is better for you. That is a fair argument because, you have a lot of, preservatives, and you've got chemicals, and you've got, all these things that go into making a product, and it's not necessarily in the best intent for the consumer. We're putting things in our bodies, we're putting things on our skin, we're drinking things, and it might not be the best for us, maybe in, like small micro doses, but not consistent use daily, over time. So hearing that something only has 5 ingredients, on a food label, if you're looking for for food that's clean and, natural, then that might be something that you want to hear. So we also get into the conversation of, fillers and fragrance and preservatives and, all these things that add to a product's experience, a product's quality, our experience with it. And those things can get confusing because there's lots of big words, multiple syllables, we can't pronounce certain things, and it's like, I don't know what this is, but this smells good, so I'm going to use it. Or I like the way the bottle looked, or my friend recommended, so I'm going to use this. That's okay. That's okay. We all are not scientists. We're not supposed to be scientists. But I will say that it is to our benefit to be, smart consumers. So if we see things that we don't recognize or if we don't understand, then that's an opportunity for us to maybe do some research or ask some questions. When I first started making soap, I read that you can't have like soapy suds. You can't have like the lather and the soapiness, and like the bubbles without sulfates. And if you look at any label, well, not any label, that's a really, really blanket generalization, but if you look at many labels on commercially produced products, you'll see things in the kind of sulfate family. And I thought, okay, well, you just can't make bubbles without sulfates. That's a thing. And I kind of took that as truth until I found a way to make soap without sulfates. And there's bubbles. There's bubbles. There's a nice lather. So it took a little research. It took a little trial and error, but it's possible. So being able to kind of look at labels, do research, understand what these ingredients are, is important. And like I said, we all don't have to know all the multi-syllable words and what they mean and what they're used for. But being able to ask questions and, potentially do a little digging could be to our benefit. So back to this whole, this has less ingredients, so I'm going to buy this product over another product. So I've seen that mostly in food. Like I said, a protein bar will say we only have 5 ingredients, so therefore we're better. In consumer products like the Bath and Body, that can be true. It can be true, but it depends on the ingredient. It depends on the type of ingredient. So I've seen products marketed as, natural and, holistic and organic and, all of these labels. And, we only have 7 ingredients, but, the 6th or 7th ingredient is something that is a level 2 carcinogen, and it is known as an endocrine or hormone disruptor. So that raises a question for me in saying, all right, well, if we're marketing as, whatever we're marketing as, is that fair for the consumer? Is that fair to say, we have a natural, high quality, whatever, but we're also, putting these things, and, it's clearly labeled, so it's not hidden, but is that fair? Is that fair to the consumer? And does that continue to muddy the waters for people who are, under the impression that if I have 5 ingredients, it's better than something that has 8 or 9 or 10 ingredients? If people don't have the education, if people don't have the, the wherewithal to do a little research or understand what these words mean, then that could lead to a problem. So I say all this to say that there are ways to learn, to educate yourself on how to read labels, how to ask questions, how to, do research. I'm going to post some information about common ingredients that are found in just about every product that you'll find, in stores across the world that may or may not be helpful to our systems. And, knowing these words, knowing that they could be associated with certain things, or that, studies have shown that they're associated with certain things, that can help make an informed decision about whether you want to use a certain product or not. I know for me, Your Wellness Sanctuary products, like I said, the body butters have most of the same ingredients, and the differentiator is the use of essential oils. And some of them have one oil, some of them have 8 oils. The product that has one oil versus the product that has 8 oils, it isn't necessarily better or worse. It's depending on what you want to use the product for. It's depending upon your body's needs. I will mix 8 different oils together because I know they are good for a certain purpose. I would put 1 or 2 oils in something because it's a nice combination and they also are good for a certain purpose. But because I know, that certain things go together and, we can benefit from certain combinations, I know, which is, why I'm doing videos like this, I know that it's important to share with others the ways to look at labels, the ways to look at ingredients, the ways to, do a little research and understand things, because applying blanket logic or, rationale of this has less, or this is 5 ingredients, or this, whatever the number is, we could be missing out. So by making those judgments, we could be missing out, and we could, I don't want to say we can harm ourselves, but we can miss out on a better experience. So, general rule when reading labels, it is most amount of something to the least amount of something. So the most is listed first, and then the least amount of that ingredient is listed at the bottom or the last. So I'm going to be sharing some more things like this, and kind of specific ingredients and what they're known for and how you can do more research for yourself, just so you can know, just so you can empower yourself with more information and then make more informed decisions, because we want that, right? And I've also done, blogs about different ingredients and how we can find replacements for them. So those are also accessible. But I really, the comment from the person at the market really got me thinking about, whether we're using the best and most information for our bodies and making decisions for the products that we're using. So that's where this came from. So there's more to come on kind of the ingredients and just benefits of certain things, and then you get to decide whether it is, your Wellness Sanctuary products or any other product that you're choosing to use. You can look at a label and you can say, oh, okay, I did research that and this is what I found. I choose to use this, or I choose to use something else. So that is the goal with this. So I hope this is helpful, and more to come.